Hey guys, Angry Beast here bringing you some Domination gameplay on the map Hotel using the M16 here with their thermal scope and the Pythons dual wielded. And man, is this M16 with thermal scope beast. For most weapons in Black Ops, what the thermal scope does is increases zoom and recoil. However, on the M16, it's unique. It's the only assault rifle that with the thermal scope equipped, it actually reduces the recoil. For whatever reason, the developers decided to make the one weapon that's really good with the thermal scope, and this is it. If you want to use the thermal scope, use this gun. This gun is an absolute monster with it. But, when you use it, you basically have no recoil, and you can fire it pretty fast too. I mean, it's an M16. Yes, it's burst fire, but you can pull the trigger pretty consistent and fast. And I love this gun with a thermal sight. It's one of my preferred M16 setups behind the M16 with the red dot. And yes, I know I'm playing defensive, yada yada yada, camping, whatever. But when you're using a thermal scope, you don't have the same close range ability that you do with a red dot or a reflex sight, and you have to kind of play defensive to compensate for that. But my kill streaks in this game are the spy plane, the counter spy plane, and I believe the napalm strike. And I've gone back to the lower kill streaks after messing around with the higher ones, like the attack dogs and blackbird and stuff, because I feel like that with the lower streaks, I can more consistently get them, and I help my team out more in the long run. I know that not everybody shows up on the radar with the spy plane, or counter spy plane can get shot down pretty easily, but I still feel like it's one of the better kill streaks in the kill streak setups in the game. Now my perks are Hardline, Sleight of Hand, and Hacker. And, you know, Hardline and Sleight of Hand are two very simple go-to perks. I mean, Hardline is great for getting your kill streaks earlier, which is really important when we're using the lower kill streaks as it is. And Sleight of Hand is just an all-around good perk. And we're using a thermal scope especially. That faster aimed on sight time is actually effective on the assault rifles. So I definitely recommend Sleight of Hand if you're going to be playing with the thermal scope. And Hacker, basically, I just like using Hacker if I don't have if I'm not playing aggressive, in which case I'd probably use Ninja. Now, as far as this map goes, this map is pretty much a remake of High Rise, and that's okay. I mean, I loved High Rise. I want to point out right here, I saw that guy as I rounded the corner, and if you notice what I did is I continued around the corner, making him think he had a free easy kill in the back. Because I saw he was reloading, I didn't want to stop instantly and turn around and shoot him. I felt like I had a better chance there if I just waited for him to run towards me, because I knew he would chase me. I mean, that's how people play the game. And I knew he would chase me, so I decided to go around the corner and wait for him to come to me and have the position of advantage there. Now, I hear this guy coming up the stairs behind me with my headset here, and, you know, that's one of the things that's invaluable about a headset. You can hear situations like that where you have no clue that the guy would have been there, because he was using Hacker Pro, which means you don't show up on my motion sensor. So I would have been dead if I hadn't had my headset and wasn't listening. But as far as my equipment is concerned, I think I have the motion sensor and my concussion grenades and frags. Motion sensor is really good when playing defensive. Obviously, you want to have that intel on where the people are. And to be honest, I don't care for the claymores. I mean, they're a one-time use, and a lot of times people are using flak jacket or hacker, so it's kind of negated in this game. I was really frustrated with this death right here, because I made the mistake of thinking he would stay in the underneath part, and unfortunately he went up top, but there isn't too much you can do in that situation. I was outmaneuvered by the enemy, and that was a really good play on his part, I'm not going to lie. But if you're playing this map with an M16, you probably want to stay to the outsides of the map, the sides of the map, because that's where you're going to have the most advantage with the M16. This map has a lot of long lines of sight, and if you try to stay in the bar area, you're going to get constantly owned by submachine gun guys coming through from the right side of the map. And, you know, when you're playing like this, it's definitely important to find a head glitch, because I'm not gonna lie, the thermal M16 is definitely not the best up close, and you want to have every advantage you can get in any situation, no matter what weapon you're using. You want to always have the position of advantage over your opponent. And right here, I have a nice cutoff spot to the roof up top. I got the main doorway from the hotel, and I got the side doorway to the right of the hotel. So I feel like that spot right there is really good until you get sniped from the window above, which just happened right there. Now, one thing to note about the thermal M16 is that its recoil, while it is reduced, still is existing. You can see right here, it takes a couple bursts to kill the guy. The recoil is somewhat the same as what you would have on a normal M16, because the recoil is magnified when you use the thermal sight, and even though the recoil numbers are reduced, the actual recoil that you see is probably about the same, because you're already zooming it in, and, you know, that just comes down to, it's good with the thermal scope, don't get me wrong, but, you know, it's not like it can completely dominate with it. The only other weapon that I'd really consider using a thermal scope with in this game, besides the snipers, would probably be the Enfield assault rifle, because it has such low recoil. It's well suited to the thermal scope, and In some situations, I'd say that the Enfield is probably one of the most versatile assault rifles in the game. But when it comes to using scopes and stuff, the Enfield actually is one of the worst. I find that the Suzat ACOG is worse than the base ACOG in the game, and, you know, it can be quite obstructive. I love this spot right here on this map. This is probably one of the best spots on the map if you didn't know about it. You can just prey on people coming down constantly. I mean, you can always count on someone trying to jump over the wall. And right underneath the ledge here, it's very hard for them to look down and kill you, especially if you're using a powerful weapon like the dual pythons. Unfortunately, I try to run away here, and I get shot in the back as I run away because I couldn't jump over fast enough. That's one of the things I really miss from Modern Warfare 3. Extreme Conditioning Pro is one of my favorite perks of all time. The ability to jump over stuff fast is something that's often overlooked in games like Call of Duty. You don't use it too often, but I feel like if I can have that passive ability all the time, it can help you in those situations where you really need it the most, and it'll end up saving your life more than anything else. I think more than Sleight of Hand does. Actually, Hardline in this game will be. But, you know, there is the counter to that in Scout Pro somewhat, but it doesn't work the same way. I mean, you just pull out your weapon faster, and that works in some situations, but in a lot of situations, I just love to have Extreme Conditioning Pro back from Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 3. So, what I want to see in Black Ops 2 is for sure a perk that lets me mantle faster, because that's an undeniably very good thing to have. And this is where the Thermal M16 shines. Well, of course I die there, but if you can get a situation like that where you got targets across the way, and you got a Thermal M16 behind some good cover, and you can just pick them off one by one while they don't have too much of a line of sight on you, you can pretty much dominate with this weapon. I mean, there isn't too much else to say about it, but other than just make sure you keep your shots on target, and remember that the scopes in this game do act like the sniper rifles, so you have to be careful with what you're aiming at, because your scope will eventually go off target. But I think at this point of the game, I've built up my kill streaks once or twice, and, you know, it's not too impressive to build up a 3 or 4 kill streak in a couple of times a game with the M16, but, you know, the lower kill streaks to me, they just have more reward for what they have, and I keep going back and forth. I love the ability to get those really high kill streaks like the Chopper Gunner, but usually I don't get them that often, and there's a balance to be had there. Recently I've been actually using a kill streak setup, the UAV, the counter UAV, and what is that kill streak? The sentry gun, which works good. I mean, the sentry gun in this game is actually pretty awesome. I mean, it does a lot of damage per bullet. I think it's like a 2-shot kill, and with a really high rate of fire, that makes it very, very hard to defeat. So there's something to be said about running the higher kill streaks, like 6, 7, 8. But in a lot of situations, I feel like it's not necessary. It's not going to help you much. Right there, the game lags, but it's okay. I end up capping the flag like a boss, and we move on. Now, as far as for this map, really, like I've said before, this side of the map is probably where you're best off with the M16. You're not going to want to try and fight in the middle of the map like I was trying to push the flag either. This is generally a death sentence with a longer range weapon. But if you could stay in a situation like this where I got a couple thin pieces of cover between me, I got the bar there that I'm using as cover, and I got the chair there, and that works well together, and it's how you should use the weapon. Some people call it camping. I call it playing like a boss, playing the objective, because I end up this game with like 4 defends and 3 captures. I hope you enjoy it. It ends up being 23-8 with the M16 Thermal. You should definitely try this class out. It's a lot of fun. But anyways, guys, I'm Angry Beast, and I'm signing out. I'll catch you guys in my next video.